Female and sapphic sexuality have been diminished and erased by patriarchal forces for far too long. So today we're digging into the hidden parts of lesbian history that are explicitly sexual, because women's sexuality not only exists without men, but it flourishes.
Damn.
Let's get into it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Queer Collected podcast. I'm your host, Carbon.
And I'm Emily.
And welcome to the show. And this episode is presented by Field and Vizzy Hard Seltzer, but more on that later.
You want to crack these in 3, 2, 1. Blast off! One thing that I really noticed while I was compiling this thick stack of research for this episode.
Yeah, that's a fat stack.
She's a fatty. One thing I was noticing is that it was actually very difficult to find explicit evidence of lesbian sex.
Of course. Undocumented, as usual, women never get researched or documented. Hey, Mom.
Hi, Pops.
Why is there a lack of historical evidence for lesbian sex?
I think the short answer is patriarchy. It's
classic.
Easy peas. They don't care. Men are in charge. First of all, when you dig into the history of sapphic erotica and porn specifically, it is very scarce until the 20th century because women couldn't publish their own work. They not only that, but they couldn't own property, often couldn't get educated, and definitely couldn't say out loud that they had sexual desire. Yeah. So it's there's so many
forces
here.
Or that they had sex.
Exactly. So it's the majority of lesbian porn throughout history is created by men for the male gaze.
For men, yeah.
But it can show us a lot about how history and time periods were viewing women in women loving women dynamics at this period of time.
I bet it always existed and we just didn't know about it. It's women can't have sex. They don't know how. They need a man to do it.
I found evidence.
Okay.
It's not a bounty, but I found some interesting things.
Okay.
We've been fucking since ancient times, honey.
I bet.
There's more here though. Also, lesbian invisibility was also used as a means of self-protection, but also a tool of control. Do you understand what that means? Historically, sapphic sexuality was often erased because men in power believed that acknowledging it would give women ideas.
Oh, yeah, if they know about it and more people know about it, they're going to do it, and then they don't need us.
Yeah.
And they must need us.
Exactly. So historians didn't record it and courts didn't legislate it. Female same-sex activity was not explicitly criminalized in Britain or Canada.
Because it didn't exist.
Whereas male same-sex activity was absolutely being criminalized and written about.
Because men can have sex.
Exactly.
They know how.
In fact, when Parliament considered including sex between women in the Le Boucher Amendment in 1885,
Le Boucher.
It was deliberately left out. Lawmakers argued that if the public learned women could have sex with each other, it would, quote, put ideas into their heads.
That's crazy, and we can't have that.
Intimacy between women was coded as innocent affection and romantic friendship.
Oh, just roommates.
So women's queerness was an impossibility. Patriarchy couldn't even imagine a woman's sexuality existing outside of a man.
Of course not. No.
Lame, but we're going to show you that it does. And this is where the popular lesbian tropes of being called just good friends or roommates arises. And it's part of a larger cultural framework that neutralizes sapphic intimacy by refusing to label it as sexual. There wasn't a widespread cultural script of lesbian identity in the same way where there was for the homosexual man.
Yeah, it's so weird because obviously men can be very sexual creatures, but women's sexuality has always been looked down upon, but you're also expected to have it with the man, and you're expected to have children which obviously only comes from sex. But I think it's always been looked at as the man gets off in order to reproduce, and it is just your job to carry and not really your job to derive pleasure from it. Your pleasure is servicing your man.
Ew.
That's nasty, yeah.
And I think it's also it used to be a financial trade-off. This person is supposed to be financially taking care of him and you're providing this.
So everyone's a sex worker.
Basically.
That's the tea, sis.
Oh, heard it here first. The thing is, though, when I said that lesbian invisibility was used as a means of protection, lesbians were using this to their advantage throughout history. So unlike gay men, they could live together as a couple under the plausible deniability that they were just close friends or roommates.
I really like that term, plausible deniability.
Right?
Right.
The problem is, though, throughout history, like when you're trying to find these like historical characters and I guess like
examples
of lesbians throughout history, it's very hard to find that like explicit or like the sapphic smoking gun or whatever,
because
which
they
like
were
a
very
lot of
like
people,
hush hush, no?
Totally. And people usually are like, well, we shouldn't say that they were were a couple because we need proof that they were having sex together.
Even though we need their tapes.
Exactly. Even though they lived their whole life together.
We need their sex tapes.
It's like, it's so obvious this is like a romantic partnership. They could have just been
really great friends.
And even so, like, is sex the only thing that defines a relationship?
Of course not. But like, obviously, when it comes to lesbianism and like men and very brainwashed heterosexual women not wanting to admit it, they're like, but they just cared for each other like great friends, because women do become like great friends and they do like hold hands when they walk, even if they're not together, and they like take care of each other in that like very nurturing way. But when you decide to completely exclude men from your romantic life, never date one, and then just move in with your best friend, quote unquote, who's also a woman, there's
something going on here, and it's not heterosexual friendship. Okay. One thing I wanted to ask is, what do you think about this idea that men have higher sex drives than women?
It's an interesting one.
Do you think it's true?
I feel like it is true, but I don't have any stats to...
I have the answer, but I just want to hear what you think.
Oh, you have the answer? Okay, great. I don't know where I heard this, but you know how there's like this common sort of rhetoric that goes around of like men have high sex drive, so they like, you know, especially by like those like weird red pill alpha males where they're like, men have high sex drives and like a man becomes... they're worth more the more girls that they sleep with because they have more experience, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, but women lose value the more guys that they sleep with because they're like less pure and less moldable.
I love the online trend where it's like women in male-dominated fields. Have you seen this?
No, what's that?
On the internet? It's just like women saying, I went on a first date and since he tried to hit, I said, you're not marriage material. Sorry. Oh. So just like, but like as a joke, but like you're just like roles reversing everything. And it's like women having like huge rosters and stuff. Yeah. And I'm in favor of this behavior.
Yeah, well, I think that's another reason for the rise of the red pill alpha males. Is because of that behavior.
Flipping? What? Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's harder than ever to get women, right? It's not like an easy like I'll give you my goat and you give me this woman that will be my wife.
Well,
for
the thing is, the economy sucks, so they actually have nothing to offer us at this point. Is like, well, that's a lot of us are seeing that we're actually better at taking care of ourselves, and they just make us feel like
that's
shit.
The problem. It's like if women don't have somebody to take care of them and they can take care of themselves, then it's like, slim pickings for dudes. They have to like really step up their game. They're mad about it,
and they just suck at it. Some of them are good at it.
Some of them.
Anyway, do you want to hear the actual stats?
Yeah.
Do men have higher sex drives?
Give it to me.
If we want to bring science into it, there is a lot of scientific evidence showing that male bodies do have higher sex drives than female bodies.
Okay.
And this is attributed to higher levels of testosterone.
Is testosterone like the thing that gets you going? Is that connected to libido or something? Like, what's the deal?
It is. And I think one interesting thing that I have noticed is just friends that have gone on testosterone to transition.
They want to fuck.
Yeah, they're like, I'm horny AF.
Really?
So like, okay. I do believe
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
But there is like a caveat here, though.
You know that there's like reasons that people give as to like why naturally like female bodies have like a lower testosterone, or sorry, not a lower testosterone, but like a lower sex drive.
Yeah.
You know how men always just like make endless sperm pretty much, but women are like almost they have a select amount of eggs, and that's all the eggs that they have, so they're like more selective with like who they choose to have sex with and reproduce with, and that's like a theory. That doesn't make
any sense to me though, because you have so many.
You have lots of eggs.
You still have so many.
Yeah.
And so many of them just get They get perioded
down the toilet.
out.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that.
I don't know. It was just like a theory that I heard.
There is a lot of individual variation here, though. So this is actually kind of big. Approximately 1/3 of females have a higher sex drive than the average male.
1 in 3
That's a lot.
have a higher sex drive than the average male.
Exactly. But like if you're looking like on average.
I feel like you're one of those.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like I've always like outperformed most partners. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, outperformed. High performance. Elite level athlete over here.
Yeah. That's the thing I was thinking about. It just didn't fully make sense to me.
Right.
This statistic, but I'm like, okay, so I'm the 1 in the 3.
You're 1 in 3 for sure. I'm the 3.
Some research also suggests that female sexual desire may be more variable and responsive to context, while male sexual desire is more stable. And I think this definitely makes sense. Like
stable desire versus
I think if we're talking about fluctuating hormones, it's like the female body has a fluctuation of hormones. Like it just makes sense.
When I'm menstruating, don't touch me.
Really? I get horny when I'm on my period.
Really? Mm-hmm. No, I'm in so much pain. What do you mean?
I'm the 1 in the 3. There you go. So unfortunately, this gap in sexual desire can also lead to some very untrue stereotypes. Can you think of what I might be saying?
Oh, that they need to sleep with a bunch of women.
Stereotypes about women.
That women should be pure and virgins and be abstinent because your sex drive is low anyway, so you don't want to like ruin your body with a bunch of dicks in you.
I think also this idea that women don't want sex.
Yeah.
And like we're like not horny.
So it leads to like the justification of men having a lot of partners because they just need to have more sex.
Yeah. This can also sort of transfer over to stereotypes on lesbians and gay people as well. So there's even the stereotype that lesbians only want to U-Haul and aren't down for casual sex.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
only
that's
want
not true
monogamy.
because I know plenty of lesbians that only want casual sex.
And I know a lot of lesbians that are non-monogamous as well.
True. This is a thing, honey. But
honey. Yeah.
Miss Honey. But I mean, on average, yeah, gay men are just fucking all the time. They even have apps for just fucking without even like exchanging names.
That's another stereotype, is that gay men are archetypically gay men are archetypically thought to date openly and non-exclusively and only want to have casual sex.
I mean, also not true.
I've met so many who aren't like that.
No, there's lover boys, there's asexual gay men, there's just like gay men that are not super interested in like that casual sex.
Yeah.
But I will say, on average, it is kind of a true stat, just based on observation.
Can I tell you my thoughts?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like a lot of this is like socialized. And I think it's rooted in stereotypes as well. Field wrote an article about this event out of Montreal called Grind Her.
Grind Her?
Yeah, and it was like a cruising events for lesbians.
No way.
And it's like sold out for, like all the time. And women are fucking out there. And the thing is, in Toronto, let me tell you, sapphic sexual spaces be selling out all the time. Like anytime there's a sapphic play party, Zine times Field, they're Let's Get Physical, which I won.
Yeah. Oh. Censored. Yeah, and that was a sold out sapphic event where sapphics just wanted to see soft porn.
It was so sexual.
Yeah.
Like it was probably like one of the most sexual events I've ever been to. And in Toronto, we also have a sapphic strip night as well.
And that always
sells
the money
out.
is flowing to those.
And people are horny AF. It's just we're respectful.
Right.
I think that's the difference.
That's the difference.
We're very respectful. It's not
and
like we care about how you're feeling and your personal boundaries.
It feels safe. Very safe.
Exactly. And I think
because everybody like asks if everything is okay, you know, are we good? Can I touch here? Can I kiss here? Can I give you a hug? Yeah. Versus like, I feel like in gay men's spaces, consent is like an assumed given, even if it's not.
I mean, we spoke about this in like our bi men dating field guide. It definitely is a thing.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is just so many people don't want to take a risk on like exclusively sexual sapphic event because there's this assumption that we don't want it.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to safety a lot of the time. And that's why these like sapphic specific events are thriving that are sexual. But for example, say if me and you were to go to a sex club on a night that was not exclusively sapphic.
Oh, I feel
we would feel unsafe.
I'd get out of here.
I would feel targeted. I'd feel like both of us are being overly sexualized by all of the men around. I wouldn't feel safe and comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I would maybe go with like a male partner because for some reason dudes recognize that.
They respect it.
which is so gross
That's
and
the
annoying.
difference. Like if they see you with a male partner, they're like, oh, that person's taken. Versus if you're with a female partner, they're like, oh, more for me.
Exactly.
You know?
And I mean, I've seen this when I've gone to like grungy after hours, gross settings as well.
You go to the one, I know.
The nasty.
The nasty one. I went to that one
the
too.
nasty, grody one.
It was like being
terrifying.
in open water full of sharks and you're bleeding and they can taste it.
I went after Halloween in a thong and a corset. Diva. I was in danger, girl.
I was fully dressed and I still felt that way.
I was in danger. And it was like 2 of us in lingerie, but there was 1 masked lesbian with us. And I was like, okay. And
safety.
She was working overtime. Okay.
Oh, I bet. She was clocking in those hours.
Working overtime, like literally like guarding us.
Oh my God.
And then a male friend that we know shows up and I'm like, sick, hang out with us. And then immediately everyone fucks off.
But not when there was that mask.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's insane, dude.
But that happens at sex clubs too.
No
And like
respect. We get no respect around here.
But this is why I think like women, sapphics,
we just need that
non-binary people, we don't feel safe to be sexual unless we're in an environment that has no men.
Oh, so we do display these statistics and these like social stigmas because of the safety issue. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's my theory.
Boom! I think you nailed it.
Right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I've been working on this theory since we had our chat with Miss Miles and Danny. What was that episode called?
It was Why the World Hates Femininity and Femphobia.
Right. So during that episode, Danny shared that she used to go cruising when she had a more like masculine presenting, like
as
non-binary gay man kind of like presentation and never felt any kind of danger. But then the second that she started to transition, she was always in physical danger. And to me, I'm like, hello, this feels like huge evidence. Like, of course, there's the element of trans misogyny going on there that it's like, it's a much more heightened experience. But that also was just so representative of this entire system to me. It's like the second you start showing that you're more feminine, your stature, your build has not changed throughout this whole process. Yeah. But suddenly now you are a target from men.
Absolutely. Femininity equals vulnerability.
Literally. Yeah. Well, to men, like that's what they see. Even though it's like your build has not changed and you can be fucking jacked AF. Look at you. Look at that. Look at those arms, shorty. Stop. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you like them?
Yeah. That palm. So when looking into the reasons behind these assumptions, writer Eleanor Scott says stereotypes of lesbians are inextricably linked to misogyny and homophobia. There's the punishment for opting out of sexual availability to men. Lesbians are either painted as over-sexualized within a male gaze or entirely desexualized. So lesbians are presumed to simply have no interest in cruising or anything outside of what is considered their sexual norm.
Yeah, I feel like lesbians, especially if you're like not passing, not straight passing, it puts you in this category of like completely undesirable.
From men?
Yeah, for sure. Like,
you've had some different experiences lately. You getting hit on.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the thing is, I think maybe some of them are starting to realize they're a little fruity and you're the gateway drug.
I am the gateway drug.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, though.
What do you think of the stereotype that women are less sexual than men? Women, like, don't want sex. Lesbians are monogamous, U-haulers, like, all of this kind of stuff. Like, what do you think? Is it tea? Is it true?
We're starting to see that this is in fact not true because of sapphic strip night, because of lesbian oil wrestling, because of Grind Her that you talked about that Field hosted, which like sounds fucking
Field
dope.
didn't host it, but they just wrote about it.
Oh, they wrote about it.
Yeah, they got some cool articles. But one
sounds
thing
sick, dude.
Another thing I was gonna say is like Field also made me realize like in North America, swiping on Field, I'm realizing not the case at all. There's a lot of non-monogamous, haughty-ass sapphics.
They're just looking for, like, a place to be.
So many of them are also looking for hookups. Like, so many people are looking for friends with benefits. So many people are looking for casual stuff.
Yeah.
And group kinky dynamics, all of the above.
Sounds fun.
Sounds fun to be on field.
Can I be honest with you?
Please do.
I'm so sick and tired of these dates that feel like job interviews. In 2025, we deserve a space where we can show up just as we are, ready to meet other people just as they are. So lucky for you, on field, you have the breathing room to explore your desires. Think open relationships, cuddling, being a brat, and find communities that share your interests. Think D&D, tennis, zine making. Free from ads and completely independent, this is the place that draws curious, playful, and open-minded people, the ones that you have been looking for. So if you're feeling curious, there's a little preview of what dating on Field has been like for Emily.
Field is the only dating app where I don't have to hide parts of myself. As someone who's both kinky and polyamorous, most platforms make dating feel like a job. Shifting through profiles, decoding vague bios, embracing myself for the moment I have to explain my relationship structure, unsure of how it'll land. But here, transparency isn't just welcomed, it's expected. It's built into the culture. I can lay everything out in my bio, no pretense, no softening, no waiting for the right moment to disclose. And the best part, I know I won't just be tolerated for it, I'll be celebrated. There's something liberating about not having to ease someone into who you are, whether it's naming the dynamics that make you feel most at home or exploring desires that might be too much elsewhere. Field creates space for honesty from the start. It means no second guessing, no unnecessary filtering, just a place to show up as yourself and trust that you'll be met there.
So get out your phone, go to the App Store or Google Play and download Field. That is Feeld. Thank you, Field, for sponsoring this episode.
Are you ready to get into the sexy sexual lesbian history that I gotten for us?
I'm ready.
Oh, where do you think we're starting?
In the ancient times.
Yeah,
I love the ancient times.
Hell yeah.
Take you through it.
It was pretty sapphic and slutty back then. Okay.
It's always been, hasn't it?
We're starting with ancient Greece and Rome, as we normally do. But I'm gonna take us some other places around the world.
Can we go to Disney World?
Yeah, we can go to Disney World, bro. Yeah. Okay. You can't discuss lesbian sexual history without
Lesbians.
Sappho.
Got it.
Lesbians. Sappho is often called the first great lesbian poet. She lived on the island of Lesbos, and it's from her name and her home that we get the word sapphic and lesbian.
I just love that. Like, what a legend. You know what I mean?
That is so legendary status, yeah.
Yeah, like, imagine being Sappho in the island of Lesbos, where lesbian comes from and where sapphic comes from. You're the most legendary person ever in lesbian history.
Literally the most iconic lesbian.
Like, I wonder how she feels about that. I wish I could ask.
That would actually be, honestly, if we were to do like a time machine, if me and you were to make a time machine and go back and yap with her.
We got into the Flux DeLorean.
I would love
to
know how she feels. In fragments of her poetry from more than 2,500 years ago, she writes with aching tenderness about her love and desire for women.
You must ache if you're a lesbian.
I have some fragments and examples. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. So in fragment 94 is most often pointed to as a clear reference to homosexual activity. Okay. So she says, and this is translated obviously, "I'm not pretending. I wish I were dead. She was leaving me in tears, and over she said to me, 'Sappho, it hurts. It isn't my choice to leave like this.' But further cemented in that this is sapphic erotica, later lines mentioned garlands of flowers, perfume, soft beds, and there's a line that modern scholars often interpret in some translations as, quote, 'you have satisfied desire.'"
Oof.
Right?
Yeah, the aching...
Yeah, very...
the aching poetry just says it all. Okay, but beyond our homegirl Sappho, how did ancient Greeks and Romans feel about lesbians being on their turf?
These cultures are famously very erotic, right? Like if you look back at a lot of their materials, like a lot of it's like very erotic material.
Oh, they were
Agreed?
having sex, yeah.
You remember this? Yeah. You remember when you were there?
I remember back then.
Yes.
Those were the good old days.
For sure. So these are cultures that are famous for erotic art and literature. But when it comes to women loving women, the record is almost silent.
Is it because women couldn't write? Why?
Female same-sex erotica is nearly absent, right?
No.
Womp womp. While male same-sex relationships were not only common in art, but were also socially structured and often celebrated.
That's gay.
It's super gay.
So gay.
But also like such the vibe right now.
The
with gay
misogyny
men.
is always what gets me, man.
I know.
Like, can't we just like write about our ancient sex? That'd be great.
Please.
Men get everything. And that's my qualms.
One of the clearest examples that shows how ancient Greeks and Romans would have thought towards like sapphic or lesbian sex, it comes from Pompeii. So there's like the erupted city.
Oh.
You know about Pompeii?
No.
There was like a volcano on top of a hill, and then one day it erupted and it like fossilized basically this whole city. So we have lots of records from Pompeii. Very cool. One of the clearest examples comes from Pompeii. So there's a fresco that lays out a kind of sexual menu, if you will.
Oh.
Right? And there's a spectrum from socially acceptable acts, right? So there's a spectrum from socially acceptable acts to the ones that Romans viewed as improper.
Oh, what's improper?
Let me tell you. So the one image of two women together, it's pushed towards the disapproved end.
Womp womp.
And it's right beside acts that the Romans considered dirty or absurd, like oral sex or a man being penetrated and penetrating at the same time. Like they just thought these things were silly.
Oh, like the human centipede.
Yeah. No. Essentially, they thought oral sex was filthy, but they also thought that penetrating and getting penetrated at the same time was just like
only
illogical.
One penetration per person?
Yeah, they just thought it was like illogical and incoherent. So they also just thought that like lesbian sex was like, it didn't include a man, so like illogical.
Who cares? Illogical. Yeah. Looked down upon. Boo.
Boo. So the issue wasn't prudishness about same-sex acts in general. They were totally fine showing male pairs, nor was it like the discomfort with erotic art, because obviously the Greeks and Romans loved erotic art. They fucking ate that shit up.
But they just didn't like women or double penetration. Got it.
Or oral.
Or oral.
Yeah.
No.
Kind of a bummer.
That's a big bummer.
Right?
Like
maybe they just like weren't washing themselves as much, so it like was kind of stinky and gross.
Oh,
because like honestly,
farm pussy,
like in like farm dick, like it is kind of gross.
That does sound disgusting.
Like if it's unwashed, gross.
I could see how that could be looked down upon.
In general, these societies were deeply patriarchal. Women had limited public power, and their sexuality was mostly imagined in relation to men.
Whack.
I mean, hasn't changed much. And yes, some elite women could read, write, and even circulate their work like Sappho, but it was rare and difficult, which means we almost see nothing beyond Sappho for women loving women desire.
Right, because she was elite then.
She was like the lesbian.
The elite lesbian.
I guess. Yeah, she must have been.
Yeah. People, like peasants or commoners didn't have the same opportunity to document their erotica.
Or know how to write. Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly not.
It just lived in their heads, which is no use to us now.
No. But guess where I'm going to go to tell you some actual real good lesbian shit in the ancient times.
No, I have no idea where we're going.
Ancient India, diva.
Oh.
The Kama Sutra. Oh, don't do that. Certainly not.
Dude, that song slaps. What do you mean?
Whoa, that felt racially charged, bro.
Dude, that song, that's a fucking banger. I don't know why.
Is that racist?
That's not racist. You know when it starts playing, you're like, oh shit. And like you get ready to like dance, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's one of those. Sorry, go ahead.
The text covers sexual positions, courtship, relationships, marriage, philosophy of love and desire, and more. As you can probably guess, the Kama Sutra explicitly mentions same-sex behavior between women. Wow.
Love it.
Lit. So apologies if I butcher this, but in the text, and I probably will, in the text, the term svarini is used, which is sometimes translated to lesbian in modern commentaries.
Really?
Right. So this refers to a woman who lives independently, perhaps not married, who may have sexual relations with other women. Sounds like a lesbian to me.
Sounds pretty lesbo.
So the text also describes sexual practices between women, non-penetrative. Says use of fingers. That's penetrative to me.
That is penetrative.
It's weird. Yeah.
Unless it's on the outside only.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Diddle.
Yeah, okay.
Little bean.
They talk about oral sex and penetration with objects like dildos made from bulbs, roots, or fruits in certain contexts.
Roots?
Throughout this, we are going to learn of the most strange things that people have shoved into their pussies.
Oh my God. No wonder we made sex toys. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Yeah. Keep going.
Okay. What's important to note is the Kama Sutra is not a moralizing or legal text. It's more of a guide to erotic behavior. So its depictions are descriptive rather than purely prescriptive or condemning. Does that make sense?
It's like this happened.
It's not per se saying that ancient India was like super accepting of this. It was just like, this exists.
It was just
and
like,
people
hey,
do this.
This was here and we wrote about it.
Exactly.
Got it.
So like it might not have been like thought of as a good thing, but people were, like, it's evidence that it was clearly there.
Right.
Let's hop back in our time machine because we're going to the medieval era.
Oh, that place.
That fucking place.
That freaking place.
Put in some fucking medieval music for me.
I like love that place, but I also hate that place.
I'm feeling this beat that you're putting on.
Oh. I don't think I put anything in there.
No, I want you to put something on. I really liked it. Between ancient Rome and the medieval era, Christianity slowly but effectively infiltrated Europe, with Europe being fully Christianized by the early medieval era.
Oh, yeah.
So
that makes sense.
So it goes from being like super sexually liberated to like super fucking Christian.
The medieval era was sexually liberated?
No. Ancient Rome.
So
I'm saying from ancient Rome to the medieval era. It went from like sexually liberated to like we're super Christian.
Unless you're a woman,
true.
Or you want oral, then you gross.
True.
Or you want double penetration.
But like sex was, they were acting like dolphins. I feel like it was like bonding. We're like, this is like social and we're bonding, you know?
Yeah. Hey man,
but only
I
for
just
men.
wanted to say thanks for the bread you gave me the other day. Let me just repay you real quick.
Love you, man.
Oh man, yeah. I hope it's going well for you and your children.
Europe was fully Christianized by the end of the medieval era, and monasteries became intellectual hubs, and the church now controls marriage laws, sexuality, morality, inheritance, and education. That's a lot of shit.
They own it all.
Controlling it all. So you can kind of imagine how this might impact sex and sexuality, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's what God intended. I have questions. I don't think that it would be like strict sexual boundaries and
that's
rules.
That's what the Bible says.
The Bible? I don't think the Bible says no double penetration. I don't think the Bible says that. I'm actually quite confident.
Really? So we can?
Yeah.
But don't they say no sex until marriage though?
It says, it doesn't say anything about oral.
Does it say after you get married you can double penetrate? That means they would have to be 3 people in a marriage.
The requirement is...
That means you need at least 3 people in a marriage. Unless you're using sex toys. You could use a dildo made from a bulb, root, or fruit.
It looks like it. Yeah. There's loopholes to this Bible stuff.
Totally.
Obviously.
We're thinking of it. You just gotta shake the bed.
Yeah, soaking.
Yeah. Sadly, what this actually means is the free sexual times are out and Christian moral shaming is in, baby.
Let's go.
Woman-loving woman sex is now framed as a sin or an unnatural act.
Bigger womp.
Literally
it was already bad. Now it's worse.
Such a womp womp.
Damn. Let's double down. Let's triple down on that.
And as a result, at the end of the medieval era in Europe, we get our first known recorded woman-loving woman sex-related trial.
They went against the Bible?
So this is the trial
Sinners.
of Katharina Hetzeldorfer.
Oh. Are they Dutch?
German.
German.
In 1477, Katharina Hetzeldorfer becomes one of the first people to be tried as a woman who had sex with women. She was tried and then drowned in the Rhine for a crime that didn't yet have a name. So they just didn't even have laws. They were just like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
No.
No. Out of here.
Yeah.
Drowned is insane.
Like a witch.
No, witch were burned at the stake.
Right. But they drowned women to see if they were witches. Because they were like, if you float, you're not.
That
you're
is
a witch.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's stupid. Anyway, and in the trial, there's a description of a strap-on device. Do you want to hear more?
Yeah.
You like the sounds of this? You like that?
I need to know.
It all began when Hetzeldorfer had moved to the city of Speyer, Germany, with a woman who during the trial Hetzeldorfer claimed was a sister. They had lived in Speyer for 2 years before Hetzeldorfer was arrested. The two had apparently confided in members of the community, describing the nature of their relationship as being like that of a husband and wife.
Sinners.
So after intense cross-examination, Hetzeldorfer revealed that the woman was not her sibling.
Oh, no.
But that they had a long-standing sexual relationship.
She snitched. Why she snitch for?
Well, I think she's getting like intensely cross-examinated, and like a lot of people were like, "Yo, we saw you do that." Like a lot of people were snitching.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's a place full of snitches out here.
Yeah, but her wife may have escaped because her words are not recorded in the trial transcript. So
interesting.
Unsure.
Shaky business.
Anyway, female witnesses who claim to have been seduced by Hetzeldorfer describe him/her as being like a man in both physique and behavior.
Oh my God.
And a sexually aggressive character.
Womanizer,
and a potent lover.
Potent.
Yeah. I want to get described
That's
like
a
that.
playboy right there.
I want to be described like that.
We just got to get testimonials from like all of your lovers. Anybody that you have sex with
right.
needs to write you a
so
detailed
true.
review.
That's so true. And we can put it on our website.
The more potent, the better.
A potent lover. Let's get back. So Hetzeldorfer and these witnesses were made to describe in detail how it was that Hetzeldorfer acted like a man. Their answers included the description of the use of an instrument and how it was made with a, quote, with a red piece of leather at the front filled with cotton and a wooden stick stuck into it, and made a hole through the wooden stick, put a string through it, and tied it round. It was the use of this instrument combined with Hetzeldorfer's gender transgressions that led to death by drowning, a particularly demeaning sentence reserved for women. So I think a lot of these
Killed
were
for
like
strapping.
Killed for
Crazy,
strapping, bro.
dude.
I think a lot of this isn't particularly, it's not that they like got in trouble for having sex with each other per se. Like you didn't get drowned for that. It was the fact that you used a penetrative type device though, because that threatens
Only men can do this.
a man's role and place, right? And
Yeah.
that's when patriarchy starts to get threatened. But we'll see kind of later on that it's like that's not always how they thought of things, you know?
Okay.
Let me
I will
continue.
say that I've heard I've heard a few like podcast clips here and there.
Yeah.
A guy will be talking about like one of their biggest insecurities with like lesbians essentially and like women like having sex with women.
Yeah.
He's like, they can just pull out like a whole
Any
case,
size,
a
bro.
whole case full of them.
Facts.
They got AK-47s, Magnum 42s, sniper rifles. They got it all.
It's so true,
and I
dude.
just got what I got.
You can go and pick out the perfect one that you want specifically for you and then just attach it on. You can choose per day.
Per day.
That's sick.
Per occasion.
That's sick, man.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I'm wondering is like descriptions like this do call into question how Hetzeldorfer would have identified today, right? Is this a story of a butch or a gender nonconforming lesbian or a trans masculine person?
Yeah.
I think because these types of labels didn't exist at this time.
We'll never know.
You know, like we can't really put that on a historical figure
Yeah.
per se. Like all we can say is that she was a woman who loved to strap.
And acted in a manly manner.
That's all we can say.
And was sexually potent.
And I don't mind that.
Yeah, I'm about it. Yeah.
While I was researching, I did find a lot of discourse around what using a sex toy shaped like a dick means.
Okay.
And I kind of wanted to have a little discussion about it if you're open to it. Papers questioned whether it emphasized this is a fun word, phallocentric view of sex.
What does that mean?
Do you know what that means?
Not at all.
So it means like the male sexual organ is the central element in sex. So does using a strap-on mean that you have a phallocentric view of sex? Like that's the only way to have sex?
No.
Or does it emphasize the irrelevance of men to women's sexual pleasure?
That sounds more accurate. Here's the thing. I know so many women that are like, wow, the dick is way better without the man attached to it. And that's tea, sis. That's tea. I don't know.
Even when someone has a dick, if they're not a man, the dick is better, in my opinion.
Yeah,
We're
that's
talking
fair.
Like
I think it's more so
a
like
trans or non-binary person. Like I would much prefer that.
I think it's obvious that for like a lot of women, they do like being penetrated. They just don't necessarily like being penetrated by men. So it's like you got to find like a thing to penetrate with. And it doesn't mean that like all women crave a man's penis
or a dick
something.
Specifically.
Yeah,
it's just like a lot of us have very similar anatomy, and this is what works.
Yeah, based on the anatomy, it's like part of pleasure. You know, it's not really like you need a man, or like you just haven't found the right one. It's like, no, like this is how anatomically we are built to have pleasure also. Like, not to say that but not all people do either. Like, not all people actually enjoy that. Not all people enjoy
and that's
penetration.
Totally fine and normal.
Absolutely. I'm just saying that a lot of them do.
Yeah.
And therefore, this is a solution to that.
Yeah. Another question that these articles were asking, though, is does strapping masculinize you in some way? Like, as the person giving the strap.
Masculinize.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think you could be.
You think you can be like a very femme person?
Yes.
And give the strap?
Yeah.
Totally.
I think I agree. But the thing is, it takes a deconstruction of
gender.
The social construct of like, you know, to do that to somebody means that you have to be masculine, but like it doesn't at all.
I watch porn, obviously, and when I'm watching the porn, I'm like, I wish I had a dick sometimes. I would love to fuck her.
No, I share that experience.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it doesn't mean that I want to be a man.
Yeah. I think I held myself back, though, from having that experience because of gender roles and because I saw myself as a feminine presenting person. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think something that's like a common misconstrued thing when it comes to like lesbians or just women that enjoy having sex with other women is that some of them, like, they must want to be men. Mm-hmm. If some of them do and like they're a trans man, then great for them. But like so many don't. Yeah. And
I think the whole point of lesbianism is that like it's an identity not centered around men.
Yeah, yeah.
You
but
know,
like,
it's like we actually want nothing to do with it.
Even if like you sometimes have this fantasy of like wanting a penis for yourself and giving somebody pleasure, it still doesn't mean that you're like wanting to be a man or anything like that. It just means that like we as humans are curious about things, especially things that we don't have or can't do or like don't naturally, you know, like come to us and that we have to like put a little bit more effort into. I think it just means that we have fantasies and we like eroticize certain things.
For research purposes, I went to a subreddit about why lesbians love giving strap.
Oh, nothing better to research than in Reddit.
And the answers were very spicy. Do you want to hear them?
What are the answers?
They're hot, honestly. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You got your water prepared?
Yeah, I'm running out, but yeah.
Okay. The heavy breaths, the moans, the whimpering, the begging, eyes rolling back into her head as she digs her nails into my back to pull me closer. The inability to form a proper sentence or walk normally afterwards. Oof. I decide what she's allowed to feel, what's not to love. Kind of hot, right?
That's so hot.
There's more. Do you want more?
I'm super into it.
Okay. So there's a feeling of dominance to it, pinning them down, looking them in the eye, slowly pushing my hips forward and listening to the sounds they make. I also have a crazy breeding kink, which squirting straps in particular are amazing for.
Interesting. Yeah. Again, with like the eroticizing and fantasizing about the thing that like you don't have or like
I mean, I've heard of a lot of lesbians that even talk about like wanting to get each other pregnant. Like a lot of that's like talk, you know what I mean? It's like talk. I just got her pregnant, like that kind of thing. It's like people talk about this, you know what I mean? Like there's this desire to be able to do that for each other, but it's like it doesn't mean that you want it all the time. Like you don't want that genitalia all the time.
No, majority, like 99%.
It's just like a bit of a sexual fantasy.
Yes,
which a strap-on aids with. Another one, the moans are great. Like I can make her melt with it, and the way she sounds is just chef's kiss. Another one says, it's the imagery. Fucking her into the mattress just does it for me.
Oh my God.
Right. I'm so into these. I'm relatively new to things and recently did doggy for the first time. I haven't been able to get the image of her ass up in the air out of my mind, nor do I want to. And honestly,
that's fantastic. I love that for them.
So hot.
Yep.
And giving her pleasure with my whole body feels amazing. And also grinding against the dildo makes me come, and it's really hot to basically come inside her. Hot. You're just like nervous, nothing to say.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
I approve this message.
Like, it's true though. And I think for me though, the thing is, it's like very mental, like it's having an orgasm, you know? Do you feel this way? Like sometimes,
oh, for sure.
Someone's made me come by like touching my arm or like literally like the second they touch me down there, I come, and it's like, that doesn't happen normally, like if I'm masturbating, absolutely not. Like it's not just going to happen like that. But that's like, it shows just how how mental it is. It shows how mental it is, love.
It's mental, love.
Okay, this person says, I come mentally when fucking girls with straps. I even feel sleepy afterwards. This is weird, but true. I don't think it's weird, girl. This is exactly how I feel. It's pretty common. According to Tumblr, I get a deep whole body satisfaction from making her come. And afterwards, I don't need anything else. I'm not stoned, so I don't think it's entirely a stone thing, but it does feel like her pleasure makes my pleasure complete. Agreed.
I feel that.
And that's like a very
I feel
sapphic,
all of those.
I think that's like a very sapphic thing too, is like feeling like the other person's pleasure gives you pleasure.
It's not honest. I get way more pleasure about the other person's like satisfaction. Yeah, versus like just my own. If it's just me, it's high.
And
like,
it's not different
bad.
with that. Like everyone's different. There's also pillow princesses. Like everyone is different.
Yeah.
Different. Everyone's different.
For sure.
And I'm someone who likes both.
What's the psychology behind pillow princesses? Like what's that
I feel
about?
we should do an episode on like pillow princesses versus stone top and like talk about the psychology.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to know why.
If you guys want an episode on that, drop a comment because we would love to know. Okay, so there was a wide range of responses, obviously, but I think it kind of sums up to be one, appreciating the sights and sounds, how it affirms their gender also, and the simple pleasure of getting their partner off. There's a lot of reasons to strap, and there you have it.
There's lots of reasons to strap.
Habibi.
Okay.
During the medieval era, guess where in the world was producing some of the most explicit, queer-inclusive, woman-loving women erotic literature?
Was it Lebanon?
Habibi.
Was it
the medieval Middle East? Yep. And the Islamic world, honey. Okay.
The Islamic world was producing lesbian erotica.
It's confusing, right?
Hell yeah, brother. I knew I liked them folks.
I knew I liked all y'all. Okay. Yeah. So from the 9th to 14th century, Arabic and Persian courts produced entire genres of erotic poetry, sex manuals, and story collections. Texts like The 1001 Nights, the erotic anthology of Delight of Hearts, and the sex manual Compendium of Pleasures include frank scenes of women with women, women using erotic tools, cross-dressing heroines who attract other women, and Andalusian women poets writing love poetry to women in their own voices.
Damn.
That's big.
That's
during this time period, especially with like how patriarchal everything was, like written in your own voice is dope.
How was that able to happen in an Islamic society? Isn't that banned?
Because early Islamic cultures placed a huge value on literacy, poetry, and the art of storytelling, courtly life rewarded wit, erotic sophistication, and mastery of language. And while religious law set moral boundaries, elite literary culture operated in its own space. One where desire, human, and even taboo fantasies could be explored safely through metaphor, satire, and fiction. So it's basically like, if you're smart, you can do it.
It's just fiction, wink, wink. It's just a story.
It's satire. It's a metaphor.
It's like a loophole.
But the lesbian erotic writing also digs into some nonfiction. In the 10th century, an encyclopedia work known as the Catalog lists the names of 12 famous lesbian couples. And in the 13th century collection of stories, anecdotes and poems known as A Promenade of the Hearts, in what does not exist in any book, there is a reference to an actual, quote, lesbian community.
A whole community of them?
Mm-hmm. And to someone named Rose, who appears to have led it.
Where are they at?
They're dead.
Where
now.
are they?
They're dead, diva.
Where's this community?
They're the medieval times,
I want to know. I want to know more about those.
A Promenade of Hearts also refers to lesbian sex as, quote, saffron message. It details famous lesbian teachers who taught women the best sounds to make during sex with other women.
What the hell?
It says you should snort heavily while wiggling lasciviously. Lasciviously. I don't even know what that word
So
means.
you're like, what do you do?
Yeah, I guess. It's like, show a lot of desire. The text goes on to describe wheezing, panting, purring, murmurs, heartbreaking sighs.
purring.
They're having some crazy
They're
sex.
going wild over there. They're going buck crazy.
Have you ever heard of the itch as a historic way to describe lesbianism?
The itch? Like I just gotta have some pussy? Or like what?
Itch.
The itch.
Yeah.
What are you scratching?
Have you heard of it?
No.
According to the 9th century Muslim philosopher al-Kindi, lesbianism was due to a vapor which, when condensed, generated heat in the labia and an itch.
What?
Which could only be relieved through orgasm with another woman. It makes total sense.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, so your labia is itchy because of some kind of vapor.
Vapor? What does that mean?
This philosopher, he was really onto something.
He was like, well, they must be itchy.
It makes a lot of sense. I think he was like, there's no way I can talk to a woman about this. No way.
So I
need to figure it out myself.
Yeah. Nothing else can satisfy the itch.
Right? Well, I think they're probably seeing women rub their labias together.
They're seeing scissoring.
Yeah. And for some reason, men just can
where
never...
did he see this?
Men can just like never fathom a woman's desire without them, I guess.
He's just like, what is that? What is that?
You're itchy.
What is that?
You're so itchy. Look at how you're screaming. You're itchy. This actually isn't the first time that the idea of the itch showed up in history. So long before al-Kindi, all the way in ancient Greece.
Men will come up with any reason as to like why women could have sex with each other.
It's so true.
They're just itchy.
It's hilarious though.
Yeah.
Anyway, long before al-Kindi, all the way in Greece, a 2nd century physician believed that lesbianism was caused by an ongoing and persistent itch in some women's labia. The good news, he believed that relief could be had by rubbing your affective labia against another woman. The knee
Fantastic news. Thank goodness there's a cure for this disease, though. Like
a really good query. Yeah. To wrap up our time in the medieval era, I just want to emphasize that while Christianity is getting Europe in a fucking chokehold, a lot of the world around it is enjoying more lax sexual freedoms. We see evidence of women loving women situations and eroticism and romantic relationships happening across medieval China, Japan, Africa, clearly the Middle East.
Clearly.
So it's happening. Okay.
It's going down.
I don't have the time to talk about everything, but
got it.
It's going down.
But everywhere in the world, lesbian sex is happening. You know what doesn't give you the itch?
What?
The sponsor of today's video, La Maison Commando. Now stop. Don't fast forward this part because y'all are going to want to hear every single word. Let me ask y'all something. Why are we still compromising when buying something as intimate as our underwear? Why are you still buying undies that were never made for you in the first place? In 2025?
Nearly 2026. We got to do better.
Right? And meanwhile, hundreds and hundreds of active women athletes and queer folks who care about comfort and style and identity have already figured out the cheat code. They're wearing Foxers, female boxers by La Maison Commando, a Black-owned, queer-owned brand made right here in Canada.
We're talking premium quality, representation, and zero compromise.
Okay, so what is the story behind these?
Honestly, the founder went through the same struggle as many of us did. Mass-presenting women, sporty girls, or the everyday girl who preferred boxers over lace and thongs. Nothing on the market respected our proportions or our vibe. So she asked the real question, what would underwear look like if it finally represented us, our style, our bodies, and our freedom? That's how the first Foxers were born. Premium briefs made for women's bodies and needs.
All right, I'm sold already, but tell me how they feel.
Like confidence, like freedom, like wearing nothing at all. I'm literally wearing them right now and it feels like I have nothing on. The bamboo fabric is buttery soft, breathable, and moves with you whether you're running errands in the gym or just living your life. And the waistband is so smooth, it leaves zero marks.
Okay, but can they be sexy and functional?
Absolutely. Foxers hug your curves in the right places, they're mask without hiding your shape, and they're built for real bodies. There's even a pad liner so your pad actually stays put when you're on your period. Sizes go from extra small to 6XL, and you pay the same price no matter the size. No bulk, no drama, just smart design.
That's actually elite.
Mm-hmm. Foxers isn't just underwear, it's a whole mindset. It's saying you don't have to compromise who you are to feel comfortable, and that's why so many women are already rocking them. From gym girls to creatives to everyday folks who just want quality made for them.
So if you're ready for underwear that respects protects your body, your identity, and your comfort, check out Foxers from La Maison Commando. Comfort, quality, and representation all in one.
La Maison Commando. Find your wings. You ready for the early modern period?
This is just how modern is modern?
This is, well, we're currently in the modern period.
Oh, but this is the early modern.
Yeah, so this is like before. So this is roughly like the 1500s to the 1700s.
Oh, that's way back.
This is actually a very interesting period of time when it came to how science and society viewed female sexuality and sapphic sex. So art and
science getting involved is never a good thing.
True. But here it kind of is. Are you ready? Are you excited? Okay. Art and literature of the Renaissance and early modern era see a rise in both a focus on sex and an anxiety about it. Confusing, right? So in modern terms, it's kind of like Brat Summer causing all of the religious people to go into a moral panic.
Got it.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like the Renaissance period of art was really like liberating, sexy. But religious people were like, oh my God.
They're like, holy shit.
Yeah. During this time, sexual literature that was being written by men, of course, treated sapphic intimacy with curiosity, or like the tutorial level before heterosexual marriage.
Oh, it's like the beginner stuff.
Yeah. And because people thought women had stronger libidos back then, because they did, they're like, oh yeah, of course girls are hooking up. That makes sense. You need to like satisfy your libido.
Oh, you need to just like get a warm up in before the real sex happens. Yeah.
Literally.
Got it.
Isn't that interesting?
Interesting.
Okay. Let's chat about seeing sapphic intimacy as an apprenticeship for heterosexual sex and marriage.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So.
Okay, I guess. I mean, I'm sure like a lot of bisexual hotties would be happy about that.
Yeah. Take this example. In the 1638 play, The Antipodes by Richard Brome, there's this wife who has been married for 3 years and still hasn't had sex because her husband will not engage.
Wait, why?
Sounds a little gay or asexual, perhaps.
He could be gay. He could be asexual. He could be gay.
She's complaining to her friend and casually mentions a same-sex erotic moment she had in the past. And the gag is, no one's shocked. No one is like, oh my God, you're a lesbian, because the whole orientation as an identity thing wasn't even a concept yet.
It was just like, of course you had a thing.
Yeah, like it was very casual.
It was like, yeah. It was like,
no one was shocked. No one was grossed out. No one was mad. Like it was normal.
Interesting.
Right?
It's like, yeah, these are your training wheels.
Yeah. And what mattered was spouse versus non-spouse and not man versus woman, if that makes sense. So even more interesting, she's still considered a virgin despite having sex with a woman.
Wild.
You know what I'm saying? So like the only problem in the story is that her husband's libido is on airplane mode, basically.
Not that she's having sex with women.
Not that she had sex with women, and she doesn't think that having sex with a woman is really sex.
It's not even sex.
Yeah.
Wow. Loopholes.
Yeah. So medical professionals believed a female orgasm was actually essential to conception at the time, too.
Whoa.
Which I'm like, that's a myth we should bring back. I feel like it's kind of like equivalent to like the stupid blue balls myth that like men used to spread around to like force girls to like do shit with them.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm gonna get blue balls. It's like we should bring this back of like, bro, you have to make me come.
Oh, yeah.
Duh. I mean, like,
duh.
You should anyway.
Absolutely.
Now, medical literature was on a whole other journey. Early modern doctors embraced the theory that the female orgasm was essential to conception, as well as female health in general. Because they believed the female orgasm was essential to conception and female health, the professional medical advice included techniques for clitoral stimulation and other activities that could be used for non-procreative sex.
That's their medical advice. Your
fun.
Prescription is stimulate the click
to bust that pussy open.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Damn.
But wait, it gets even better.
Okay,
you ready?
Yeah.
So medieval medical theory also said a woman could actually die from not getting enough sex because of, quote, womb suffocation. And I'm not joking.
Whoa.
Yeah. The cure was ideally regular married intercourse. But if you were unmarried, especially if you were a nun and couldn't marry and also did not want to die, physicians recommended other treatments. One 14th century English doctor, John of Gaddesden, instructed midwives to insert a finger covered in oil of lily, laurel or spikenard into her womb and move it vigorously about.
Oh my God.
This was considered an approved health practice.
Vigorously?
Sounds like they were looking for an orgasm.
Are you telling me that nuns
and midwives, they were fucking it up.
You think they were fingering each other?
Clearly they were fingering each other. It was a prescribed practice. I don't think I know.
Nuns were abstinent.
Right.
Well, I guess if there's no penis,
well, they might die though.
They could die.
They could die. It was really important.
And that is very important.
No, it was really important.
You want to stay alive so you can serve the Lord. Exactly. So you got to have another girl finger you.
Exactly. So if an experienced woman or midwife helped you reach orgasm for your health, it was totally fine.
Wow.
Love.
Incredible.
But here's the caveat. Once a dildo enters the chat, that's when everything suddenly shifts. It goes from respectable medical advice into obscenity and early ideas of pornography as well.
Oh, because you can't replace the dick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so you can do everything else, but not that.
Yeah.
So they were like really not into strap-ons and dildos.
No, that's too much insecurity.
Across texts of the time, we're really starting to see tide shift from male homosexuality being socially acceptable and female homosexuality being unnecessary to basically the opposite. It's just like a total 180 flip. And across pornography books and medical texts, we're starting to see some themes. Women's same-sex activities are treated as basically irrelevant to their marriages. Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess like this is where that original stereotype comes from, that it's not cheating if you hook up with a woman.
Oh.
Which is wrong and bad, wrong and bad, and lesbophobic.
Very lesbophobic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole like it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. I can fuck you.
It's just
it doesn't matter.
2 women.
My boyfriend's fine with this, only if it's women.
Only if it's women. Yeah. It's totally fine. It didn't even happen. You don't exist.
Whoa. No one's calling this adultery. There's no concept that a woman doing stuff with another woman means she's a specific sexual orientation. It's just something that all women could do and probably wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of a vibe.
That part is a vibe.
But the part that it's like not considered real is not a vibe.
That's not a vibe.
Yeah. Anyway, sex between women is usually written as non-penetrative. And if penetration is even hinted at, that's the only time when it's actually called adultery.
But what about the fingering?
That's I think fingering, they weren't seeing that as penetrative. Like only if it's phallic.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Only if it's a dildo.
Only if it's like a dildo. Like only if it looks like a dick.
Interesting.
Which is also so annoying.
Yeah.
Very phallocentric. Writers try really hard not to show women who exclusively are into women as a legit option. And if they do, it's mainly just like played for laughs. Like it's a joke.
That
could
silly.
be real.
You just need the right dick.
Exactly. Yeah. In contrast to ancient Greece and Rome, you start to see male to male sex discussed less and female to female sex discussed more.
Interesting.
Yeah. The tides are shifting. As Catholicism strengthens its grip on Europe, what do you think becomes a safe haven for lesbians during the medieval to early modern era?
Being a nun? Oh, shit. No way.
Yeah. Nunneries. Convents and nunneries. Yeah.
Nunneries full of sin.
A bunch of naughty nuns. So much so that the church had to repeatedly issue bans on nuns sleeping together. Like this is documented. There's so many laws across many different countries of them being like, absolutely not. Don't be doing that. Implying that it happened enough to like worry authorities, basically.
And I'm sure it happened after that too. That is crazy.
Do you want to hear one of them? So the 7th century Penetial of Bede was an English monk, assigned a penance of 7 years for nuns who had sex with each other by means of an instrument. They really did not like dildos.
They hated dildos.
Yeah. So later, the 9th century Archbishop Hinsmar I don't understand religious speak. Of,
this is ye old English too.
Yeah, of Richimus wrote that lesbians transform the use of a member in question into an unnatural one, in that they are reported to use certain instruments of diabolical operation to excite desire.
They hate dildos.
I kind of like that.
Stop moving your tongue around like
diabolical operation to excite desire. I love when like religious talk gets like really crazy. No wonder so many people have like religious like kinks and shit.
Religious erotica.
Totally. It's like you're being so horny. You're telling us not to be horny and then you write something like that? Bro,
you're horny.
You're the fucking horny one, bro.
Yeah.
Like, looks like Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man. Like, come on now. Yeah. There's a particularly wild story about a nun in Pescia, Italy named Benedetta Carlini. She became abbess in a convent in 1619, in part because her reputation for having mystic visions. Yeah. So her visions were very theatrical.
Okay.
She claimed to receive stigmata, exchanged her heart with Christ, had angelic visitations, and even held a wedding ceremony where she was mystically married to Jesus.
She's getting kinky over there. She's got like some Jesus kink for sure.
Yeah. But behind the veneer of mysticism, she allegedly had a sexual relationship with another nun.
Gasp.
Sister Bartolomea Crivelli.
Can you say it in an Italian accent?
I don't think I have an Italian accent.
No, you don't. That's why I wanted you to say it.
Sister Bartolomea Crivelli.
Okay, we can
I had one.
skip that.
Oh my God. According to Bartolomea's testimony to church authorities, the two had repeated sexual encounters at least 3 times a week for 2 years.
3 times a week.
They were getting busy.
They're busy,
including mutual masturbation.
Lord's work is never done.
So this included mutual masturbation and making love. Part of her defense was that these acts weren't just her. In her trances, she claimed an angel named Splenditello possessed her and had the sex in her body.
Even more kinky, more erotic,
I
more
kind of
fantasy driven.
Into the fan fiction of it. Yeah. Right? It's like I like where your mind is
really
going.
Good. Also, she could have died without it, don't you know?
The problem was, though, the church investigators didn't buy it at all.
Yikes.
Bummer. There was a formal ecclesiastical inquiry and the result was pretty brutal. She spent the rest of her life imprisoned in her convent in strict isolation.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so shit.
I know, and it was like just an angel having sex in her body. It's like really unfair.
It wasn't even her choice.
It wasn't her choice at all. It's really fucked up.
That's really fucked up. Believe a woman when she says she's possessed by an angel.
Believe a woman.
Jesus Christ.
Believe a woman. So her story is told by Judith C. Brown's book, Immodest Acts, The Life of a Lesbian Nun in Renaissance Italy. Do we like her?
I like her.
Yeah, I like her too.
Unfortunately, I'm sad to know about how the rest of her life was spent.
Yeah. As it normally does, life begins to imitate art. And a major pornography theme in early modern era becomes female couples in convents.
What's convents?
Like a nunnery.
Oh, okay.
Like where the
Got
nuns
it.
live.
Yeah.
Right?
Religious talk. I should
Religious
know
talk. I don't know anything about this. You know stuff about this.
I don't know nun stuff.
Oh, you don't know nun stuff.
No,
you don't know
not really.
none of that.
I don't know. I don't have anything. I had nothing to do with that. That's good.
Yeah. There we go.
But now it sounds pretty fun without the backlash and being in prison for the rest of eternity.
So the art of pornography, unfortunately, still like very much written by men.
Damn.
Starts to imitate this. They start to like make some stuff going on about this. So this combines outraging sexual morals with satirizing religious morals.
Satirizing?
Yeah. So it's like satire plus outrageous.
Oh.
Right?
Got it.
So they're just like fucking with the morals of the time.
Okay. Got it.
And it's like, that's hot. You know, it's kind of like
taboo.
like making it taboo.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Good word. Okay. One example that kind of shows this and shows what we've been talking about is Jean Barin's Venus dans la Cotre. So it's called Venus in the Covent. Ooh. And it was originally published in 1683. And this is like a porn.
This is prawn.
The work takes the form of a dialogue between 2 fictional teenage nuns. We're going for a lot of these themes here. Yeah.
Teenage though? How teen?
It's a little Epstein.
Yeah.
So Sister Agnes and Sister Angelique,
what was the legal age back then?
I don't know.
Because you could get married at like 13 or something. But like in reference to today, how teen was this teen? Would it be a modern day
Bro, I don't know how to answer this question.
You know, like back then, teen wasn't so teen.
Probably like teen was like an adult at that point. Because I mean, you die so early.
I hope
the
so.
lifespan.
Anyways, continue.
Okay,
let's assume that they would be today adults.
Sure, why not? Or not. We don't have to assume that. This was written by a man.
Yeah, that's true.
The dialogue was between two fictional teenage nuns, Sister Angus and Sister Angelique, in which the elder Angelique comes upon the newly arrived Sister Angus in the middle of masturbating and decides to give her a more formal instruction in sexual pleasure, as is typical in this sort of sex education genre. So we find an older, sexually experienced woman initiating a younger, sexually naive one who makes a show of being reluctant or embarrassed. And I think this kind of like ties into the vibe of it being like nuns had to do this for their health. Yeah. You know? So it's like men were probably sexualizing this as well, of like nuns locked away doing
It's kind of like
the secrecy of it.
The sexualization of like a girl's slumber party.
Totally.
They're like, oh, they must be going crazy, tits out, fucking in there.
You ready to jump into the modern era to present? This is like a really big chunk of time here. How modern
are we talking?
This is the 1750s to 2025, baby.
That's a long chunk.
You want to go Africa?
Let's go to Africa.
You want to take Africa? Okay, so in 1899 in Zanzibar, there was something called the ebony penis.
Oh?
We're talking about straps.
Say more.
We're still talking about strap-ons. Okay, so people have been using strap-on-like devices since the dawn of time. It's
clearly
literally in the Kama Sutra, like I was talking about. But there's an especially interesting ethnographic study that comes out of Zanzibar in 1899 that was published by Michael Haberlandt. Sounds like a colonizer. In it, amongst other things, he describes the 3 sex acts women enjoyed with one another. Kulambana, to lick one another. Kusagana, to rub the private parts up against each other. We're tribbing.
Yep.
And
Tribnation.
Yeah, Tribnation. And Kujitia, Moba e Mempingo.
I'm sure you got that all perfect.
I think I nailed it. I think I fucking nailed that.
Nice one.
Yeah. And that was to finish oneself with an ebony penis.
What's with this ebony penis?
You want to hear about it?
Yeah, what's that about?
The ebony penis was the community's version of a strap-on. It was crafted from a stick of ebony, which was a heavy blackish or dark brown tree. It's like timber from mainly like tropical trees.
Yes.
So that's actually where the word ebony comes from, which is interesting. Yeah. And it was sold secretly.
The black market.
Yeah. So the stick was attached to a cord to tie around the body and was hollow so that warm water could be poured through to evoke ejaculation.
No way.
They had breeding kinks back then.
Whoa. Well, I guess always.
Yeah. It is considered an Arabic invention. Haberlandt wrote according to a translation. Isn't that interesting?
Wow. Those Arabs, you know what I'm saying? I'm on to them.
Deeks.
They're a little freaky. This makes sense with all of our friends.
Yeah. We're gonna like run all the way ahead right now. Just in the interest of time. There's so much more I could share.
Yeah, we're running out.
I'm just interested in
Let's
your
get
time.
on it.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. This podcast is proudly sponsored by Vizzy Hard Seltzer.
Over the last 5 years, Vizzy has supported our mission to authentically and positively represent the entire LGBTQ2S+ community.
And with Vizzy's vibrant flavors, you can follow your own vibe. Be bold, be flavorful, and above all else, be yourself. Plus, Vizzy only has 100 calories and 1 gram of sugar per can.
Cheers! Must be of legal drinking age, and please enjoy responsibly.
And now, back to the episode.
We're going to jump ahead to World War II with the birth of the leather dyke.
Okay.
This is where some lesbian history gets super freaky deaky. You ready?
You mean super freaky deaky and documented.
Exactly.
I'm sure it was mad freaks back then, just like none to write about.
After World War II, thousands of women had spent years working in the military, in factories, or in non-traditional roles. Many discovered communities with women, gender nonconformity, and independence.
Yeah.
And when the war ended, some of these women refused to return to domestic life And
I've had it. I want to wear jeans.
exactly. And motorcycle culture already was tied to rebellion and masculinity, so it became this like safe haven.
Makes sense.
Yeah. At the same time, gay male leather clubs were also emerging through biker clubs like the Satires MC and the 13 Rebels. So queer women were watching and learning. They weren't always welcome in men's leather bars.
Of course not, obviously.
So they formed their own subcultures that were more underground, more intimate, and often more politically radical.
Oh, yeah. I'm into it.
As we know,
everyone loves leather.
Around the same time, the butch-femme dynamic is also starting to emerge. And if you want to learn more about the butch-femme dynamic, we did a whole episode on it that I think is...
It's called Butch versus Femme.
Butch versus Femme. Check it out. It's a great episode. In this dynamic, there becomes roles and norms around dominance and submission. Ritualized clothing like leather jackets, boots, chains, and gloves, and explicit BDSM play in private spaces. So according to the 1993 book, Boots of Leather, Slippers of Gold, this is also when we get a lot of sex-related lesbian language like stone butch, top, bull dagger, all of these great terms.
Wait, what's bull dagger?
I don't know. Should I Google it?
None.
Which is also another early indicator of there being BDSM coded dynamics within lesbian communities, right?
I'm into it.
The first unofficial lesbian motorcycle club is founded in 1958, and they call themselves the Van Dykes. They're from San Francisco, and they're the muscle that protects their bars from homophobic men.
The only reason I wish I was around back then was to go to these places where it was like secret underground lesbian bars. Like that doesn't exist anymore.
It'd be a little scary, but yeah.
It would be so dangerous.
Yeah.
But it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, totally.
The thrill of the underground.
I saw Caleb Heron talking on his podcast about how the only thing he'd be excited about like gay rights being reversed is just that like every time he sucks dick, it's like a radical protest. It's like, it's
and
hilarious.
Word, yeah.
Yeah, right? It's like, wow, that was so radical.
In a way, it makes it a little bit more exciting.
Totally.
But like, not that I want
No,
my
don't
rights
do that.
reversed.
No, we don't want that. Yeah.
I can just fantasize about it and it's fine.
Then the first official lesbian MC emerges. And by the way, MC means motorcycle club. If you didn't catch that.
Not like MC, like on the mic, spitting fire beats.
No. So it's discrete queer chapter of the women's MC club, the Motor Maids. So the Motor Maids already exist as like a woman's MC. That is
hilarious.
But then there's like this discrete chapter of it that's for lesbians.
Maids.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Despite the fact that you could be expelled for being openly gay in the Motor Maids, according to historian Karen Christie, the Motor Maids were a major portal into leather for early lesbian riders.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was like a big deal, but they had to be like low key about this.
Keep it secret.
By the 1970s, things are getting less discreet, and the connection to the BDSM community is becoming clearer than ever. This is when feminism, gay liberation, and the hippie sex liberation movement are all popping off, and as a result, so does the lesbian leather scene.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. I think this is also probably like very tied to like the pansexual movement. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Like the BDSM
everything
scene,
just
like
seems
it's all
kind of like mingled and connected
totally.
and jumbled.
Yeah, it's
and
like it's like
together.
so much social change was happening that it's like the vibe was so great.
The vibe is just
Vibing.
Justice. I want justice.
Literally, yeah. No, that's so me.
You're like having an orgy with 3 women and you're like, for justice.
I'm eating this pussy for justice. In 1977, San Francisco, the Outcasts are born. They're one of the first all-lesbian leather organizations. They held S&M workshops, dungeon nights, and motorcycle runs. And then in 1978, in San Francisco again, the Samoas is founded by Pat Califia and Gail Rubin. This group was dedicated to lesbian BDSM. They are arguably the root of modern kink theory. Rubin, in particular, Gail Rubin, in 1982 wrote a very influential essay called Thinking Sex, and this kind of changed everything about how sexuality was studied. So in particular, she urged feminists to stop moralizing sexual desire. She helped birth the sex positive feminist movement by exposing the real problem to be state control of our sexuality rather than like BDSM pornography, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like feminists at the time were like, pornography is like bad for women.
I see.
Her essay came at a time when academia was really pathologizing kink and queerness, and she came in and treated them as legitimate communities with norms, ethics, and histories. Makes sense? So it kind of like flipped it all on its head, but she also was running this like dope ass MC in San Francisco.
MC dropping heat on that mic.
So sick. The POC lesbians were in on this as well, though. From the 1970s to 1990s, POC lesbians started to play a massive but underdocumented role.
Of course.
Yeah. According to the Lesbian Land Archives Oral History by Heather Burpee and Carol Newhouse, the Van Dyke's motorcycle caravan pops up in 1979. It's a multiracial all-dyke biker club that literally rose across North America in a bus-turned-mobile commune. This sounds lit as fuck.
Holy.
Yeah, they were unapologetically kinky, gender non-conforming, and radical, and they ran lots of BDSM workshops. After the Van Dykes, other BIPOC groups start to emerge on the scene. You have do you know how to say this? The Chingonas? Chingonas? Yeah. So after the Van Dykes, you have the Chingonas on Wheels in SoCal, which is a group of Latina butches and black leather dykes in Chicago.
Latina.
Yeah. And they were in Chicago, Detroit, and New York City, and SoCal.
Sounds very Mexican.
For sure.
It's like, órale, chingonas. Let's go. Lick this pussy over here.
And these groups were rarely written about, but their legacy is preserved in One Archives LA and in the Leather Archives and Museum in Chicago.
You'd be a part of one of the gangs. Probably the white one, to be fair.
Seemed quite racially divided, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But you'd be in it and you'd be like...
Fucking.
You'd be fucking. I feel like I would be timid. I don't know, Holmes.
Yeah, I don't know, Holmes. I kind of want to hug. So in the 90s, the leather dyke goes global, and lesbian motor clubs pop up in India, South Africa, and Latin America.
Damn.
That's pretty dope.
See, but like in my fantasy, I'm a part of it.
For sure.
Like, I'm definitely a part of it in my fantasy, for sure. And I have leather jacket and chaps or whatever to prove it.
Yeah.
But like...
You're not doing anything else, though. You're not really going to the workshops.
No, I'm going to the workshops,
right.
But I'm not doing the workshops like in front of everybody.
Right,
like,
right. You're just
I'm just like watching and I'm like,
yeah.
And I'm like taking notes. I'm like, got it. Just wait till they see me in private. Well, they won't see me. So that's the point.
Just wait till they see me in private.
If only they knew.
Got it.
But why are the leather dykes so connected to the BDSM community? Is it just because they all like leather? What's the connection? Is it always like that?
The leather dyke movement, as I said, was founded after World War II at a time when visible queer people faced real danger just by going to queer bars and not dressing according to their assigned gender, right? The leather dyke in their motorcycles became a symbol of dominance and protection, which is like a little kinky, you know what I mean? Like they were outside the bars, they were protecting people. Like it was like an important community role.
It's pretty hot.
You know?
Hey, you.
But it's like I don't know, with the leather, it's like a kinky object.
Yeah. You can't come in here, partner.
It becomes very dominant. So this is why
these women in here, these fine young ladies.
Exactly. So this is why dykes on bikes ride at the front of the Dyke March and Pride parades.
They're protecting the rest.
They're metaphorically like clearing the streets for the parade, even though like they don't actually need to do that anymore. It's like symbolic to the history, you know, of the role that they played to protect the community, and like a lot of them still to this day continue to protect individuals and events from homophobic and transphobic.
I love that.
It's dope.
No, so I would be part of the club.
Absolutely.
I would totally ride that thing.
Yeah, ride that thing.
I would ride that thing.
It's not all related to sex. And honestly, there's like so much of BDSM that is actually platonic as well. You know what I mean? Like you can platonically.
Well, no, it's the thing is,
people.
I don't have anything against BDSM or kink or sex.
Yeah.
I participate in it myself, but like not publicly. That's where that's the shy part.
It doesn't have to be public.
That's the shy part.
So they're in an inherent dominant role. It's speaking to dominance and power. And when you combine that with a bike, which is a leather object in itself, and part of the costuming of kink, the power dynamic becomes quite erotic. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So I've read stories about leather dykes who do BDSM scenes up against their bike.
Whoa.
Hot, right?
Very.
It's very sexy.
Get on my trusty steed.
You know, and then like all of the costuming of it as well is like the leather that you wear, all of it is like so in kin to the BDSM community.
It's like, I'm going to dominate you, but also I'm your protector.
You got it.
I'm into it.
Daddy dom.
I'm into it.
Can you think of any other unconventional places where sapphic sex and desire may have thrived?
This is such a broad question.
That's fair. Okay. I'll give you a hint. There's a TV show about it, and it was a lot of our sapphic sexual awakening, this TV show.
Prison.
Yeah.
Oh,
Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
In reading a lot of these stories too, I was like, oh my God, Orange is the New Black
Makes
took a
sense.
lot of this from like historical records though. Like when they got married and stuff like that. Like I was reading stories about
This is
like
a historically accurate show.
It was actually. It was actually historically accurate. It was really sick. Before I get into some of these stories though, let's explain the dynamics of like sapphicness in prison.
Okay.
In women's prison, the historical record shows a mixture of behaviors and situations, not a single quote type of lesbian sex.
Okay.
So there's the first kind, which is consensual long-term relationships. So this is formed inside of prisons, and they're sometimes called true homosexuality by researchers. So this is often driven by emotional intimacy, companionship, and erotic desire.
Oh,
Okay?
yes.
True homosexuality.
True.
And then you have...
There's fake homosexuality.
Well, you have...
Situational homo.
Exactly what it's called. It's called situational lesbians. So these are women who had sex with other women in prison, even if they identified as heterosexual outside.
Sounds as bisexual. You could just be bisexual.
Right? But this is
Honey,
often
you could be
contextual and tied to the absence of men. So researchers have like a hard time distinguishing it.
Well, if
Like
you...
there are people who didn't identify as bisexual. They're like, if I wasn't in prison, I wouldn't have done this.
Yeah, but you did do it.
It's a little bisexual.
It's bisexual. It doesn't mean that you're like, you want to date a woman now.
Yeah.
But it means that you...
It means something. It means you could get off on that.
Something. Yeah.
That's so tea.
Even it means that you're on the scale.
True. Okay. And then the next dynamic is pseudo families / like make believe families. So in prisons, women organize into family style groups. Mothers, daughters, wives that sometimes include a single sexual couple whose intimacy anchors the group, kind of like the wives or whatever, right?
Okay.
So many 1990s studies viewed this as a coping / adaptive strategy. These relationships sometimes include sexual activity and role playing that mimicked heterosexual family roles. Like there's like a daddy and a mommy.
There's that nuclear family aspect.
Right? But it's like very much a coping mechanism.
They're playing house. Would this be considered like heterosexual cope?
What do you mean heterosexual cope?
You know, like you're trying to like maintain, you know, your heterosexual desires, but there's no man in sight. So
no, I think it was honestly, it was more about like power structures in prison. So like you join a family and it's like almost a little bit like a gang, if that makes sense.
Yes,
so it's like protection, but it becomes like very emotionally driven as well. Like, so that's a genuine romantic relationship at the top of it. And like, if you're someone's daughter, like it's like a real connection. The next type of dynamic that we see in prison is around coercion, sexual barter, and staff / inmate sexual abuse. Ooh. So this is a serious...
I never like that. I never like a little bit of essay. I don't like that. Yeah.
Of course not. So this is serious and well-documented problem, and is not going to be part of the stories that we share.
Yikes.
Sociological studies from the 90s estimate that a significant amount of women inmates reported sexual behavior while incarcerated, and that many same-sex encounters occurred. Okay? So they're getting gay in there.
Yes.
They're getting gay. We know they're getting gay.
Yeah.
It's happening.
It's happening.
But historically, it was actually no mistake that prisons were filled with queer people.
What's the crime? What is the crime, Judge?
The crime's being gay, baby. In Hugh Ryan's book, The Women's House of Detention, he writes about the critical role that queer inmates in the New York City prison played in the gay rights movement of the 60s, so the Stonewall Uprising, right? So in 20th century New York, tens of thousands of women and transmasculine people were incarcerated here with crimes related to gender nonconforming behavior.
That's shitty, bro.
Here's a quote from the book. Drunkenness, waywardism, disobedience to their parents, being out at night by themselves, wearing pants. Yeah.
Wore they jeans?
Yeah. Accepting a date from a man, accepting a ride from a man, Ryan says. All of these things could have gotten you arrested if you were
Or worse.
Yeah. Well, all of these things could have gotten you arrested if you were perceived as the wrong kind of woman.
Oh, what's the wrong kind of woman?
A gay one.
The kind that likes to eat a little pussy.
Yeah. The kind that likes to eat a little puss.
That sounds so vulgar. I'm sorry.
Or the kind that likes to sell your puss.
Oh.
Yeah. By the 50s and 60s, Ryan estimates that around 75% of the people incarcerated in the House of D, that's what the prison was called.
The House of D?
Yeah.
House of D?
Was not filled with any D.
No D's, though?
No D's in the House of D, but 75% of the people incarcerated were queer in some way.
The wrong kind of woman.
In the 1960s, the prison began marking gay prisoners with a D for degenerate.
Oh, I thought it was D for dick. Or devious.
Devious, yeah, degenerate, devious. And placing them into solitary confinement because they were considered a danger to other women, which is like, how are you placing all these people in social confinement?
So they were all masturbating.
Here's how it got involved in Stonewall, though. So the House of D was 500 feet away from the Stonewall Inn. On the first night of the riots, people incarcerated in the prisons could actually see what was happening out their window, and they started a riot of their own, setting fire to their belongings and throwing them down to the streets below while chanting gay rights, gay rights, gay rights.
Let's go, gay rights, gay rights.
Prisons have always been a very queer place, especially like women's prisons.
For being the wrong kind of woman.
But do you want to hear how a story about how sapphics get very creative in prison?
Oh, please.
Okay. There was a woman named the Mechanic by her peers. She was described in several mid-century penological interviews.
She's probably sexy, huh?
Yeah, in
The Mechanic's
1965. These interviews were by Ward and Kassenbaum. And the Mechanic became famous for her ability to, quote, fix anything. But what most guards didn't know is that she was also creating improvised dildos.
Oh, sexy.
They were hidden inside hollowed out hairbrush handles, tightly rolled cloth tubes, and dipped in melted soap and even carved wood, smuggled from the prison workshop. I just know soap ain't good for your puss, but
I mean,
it's a little concerning. I would rather a finger.
Soap, that's gonna fuck up your pH for sure. And then wood, I hope it's like
owie, sanded.
I hope it's sanded. Hope there's no splinters.
They were getting crafty.
I can imagine the yeast infections from that. That's unfortunate.
Right? I would just much prefer a finger at that point. But she traded these for favors, protection, and commissary.
Wow.
So she's been going down in prison, and Orange is the New Black. That's some nonfiction. Accuracy, bro.
Wow. All of these types of straps and dildos were very creative back in their days.
Right? I'm so glad that we have silicone now.
This, I hope, brings a new light to everybody.
To how hot I am. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Go ahead.
To everybody that didn't know, didn't assume, or had a hint but just wasn't sure. Mm-hmm. That the female libido is alive and well.
Oh, yeah.
We just need the expulsion of men in a space in order for it to be super heightened. Yeah.
Exactly. And we need a little encouragement. Let's be honest. We'll stand on the wall. Nice. We need like maybe a bunch of lesbians covered in oil wrestling.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe
someone stripping to get us going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like make it like, okay, we're good to do this.
Yeah. And like if there's no men present, then you're not like afraid.
You're not afraid?
Yeah.
And you just need a little encouragement. But we've been sexual.
Yeah.
Clearly we've been fucking without any kind of encouragement from any men.
1 in 3.
Or society.
Yep.
And we be fucking each other. And that's what's up.
Since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
For our health, really.
What's the odds this episode's going to be demonetized?
High.
Well, that's everything I got.
That's a good place to wrap it up. Thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom in the history of lesbian sex.
So wise.
It's fantastic. Maybe we should dig deeper into it. I don't know.
That was pretty deep, but
That was pretty deep, but we could go deeper.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
But I mean, let us know in the comments if you guys want to hear more about pillow princesses and
Stone
stone
tops.
tops. Like, I think that would be really cool.
So that's everything that we have for you today. And if you want to dive deeper into the history of lesbianism, we have a whole episode on it. It's called The Entire History of Lesbians. And make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast app, make sure to leave us a 5-star review because it really does help the podcast out. That's everything that we got. And until next time, peace.